This is Wendy Adelson. Wendy Adelson is the only one in the Adelson Danielle Markel murder case that was not indicted or charged. She still hasn't been. In my opinion, she knows about it. She knew all about it. But I think she distanced herself just enough and was crafty enough to keep herself out of it, because she is a really brilliant person, to not be in trouble. But did she know? Oh, most definitely, in my opinion. And think about it. Now she's going to answer the question here. She lives in South Florida right now. That's the whole shebang of why she based that. That's why they were all pissed off, because Danielle Markel did not want her relocating there, and he won that. And right after that, he's murdered in his garage. And I think it was a week later, she goes to South Florida, where she always wanted to go, and the man barring her from doing that is now out of the picture due to the murder, and she's still there. I mean, if we've all had exes, but and she has kids with Danny, and I know she doesn't care, but my point is as a common sense or a lay person, I just couldn't, I'd be like, I did want to go to South Florida, but after all this, and, I'm not going to go, maybe honor him, whatever. Obviously, you wanted to get there badly, and you're still there, and you don't care, that your ex-husband had to die for this. I mean, it's crazy, absolutely crazy. And the fact that Katherine Mcbanawa, Charlie Adelson, Donna Adelson, have all received life sentences. Sigfredo Garcia, Luis Rivera worked the deal. So they've all received life sentences except for Luis. But the point is, and so it appears that they're on the right track here. And she's still hanging out with her family. Your family conspired to murder your ex-husband, yet you're cool with that? I mean, I'd be like, whoa. So anyway, that's what we're dealing with here. But this is her, this is direct testimony, or direct questioning from the prosecution. And then later on, she'll get cross-examined by Katherine Mcbanawa's defense attorney, which is really interesting. And we'll go over some of this. And it shows how women argue. In a structured environment, women can't gaslight. They can't deflect. They can't move the goalposts. They can't change the subject. They can't badger you, nag you. In an informal environment, when you're in an informal conversation, like a day-to-day, they can do all those things, right? And men pay a heavy price arguing with women. You pay a price arguing in general, but especially with women. And this is a respect to women. It's a feature, not a bug, because they communicate better. They psychologically think about, maybe manipulation. Manipulation is not always bad, but they can win the psychological warfare with a man, no problem. Not a man that studied, but you'll exhaust yourself arguing with a woman. She'll have you running, and that's why you don't do it. It's like, if you were an amateur boxer and you're having to box a pro, it's tiring, But anyway, we'll hear her testify here and see if we can learn anything. In the formal environment here, she can't run, she can't deflect, she can be pinned down, And that's what's good about the formal court system. Here we go.
Thank you, Your Honor. Please introduce yourself and spell your name.
My name is Wendy Adelson, WendyAdelson.
Ms. Adelson, where do you currently live?
I currently live in Miami Beach.
And are you here today pursuant to a state subpoena?
Currently lives in Miami Beach.
And do all state subpoenas confer immunity?
I don't know if all state subpoenas confer immunity, but this one does.
Okay, and do you believe that your subpoena is special or different from other state subpoenas?
I don't believe it's special or different.
She's a professor. She's a law professor. She got, I believe, a 4.0 average, grade point average. She went to Cambridge University. She went to Miami Law School, one of the best law schools in the country. This is her. Look at her confused. This is performative. She's not confused. And I love that line. You think you're so special?
Suppose they all carry immunity.
All right, and does the immunity conferred upon you by the subpoena mean that you can never be prosecuted and associated with this case?
That's right.
That's what you think it means?
That's what I think it means.
Okay. And do you think, isn't it true that it's use and derivative use immunity? Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay, but not complete immunity from prosecution. Do you agree with that?
That's different than what you just asked me for. So, I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
All right, so what I'm trying to allow the jury to understand is what sort of immunity you have.
She knows. She can easily answer the question. She's acting confused, performative. If we establish this in a normal argument with a woman, you know, she's going to do this. But in this context, you know, she's able to, you know, pin her down. Here she goes. She's going to answer the question. She knew the answer already. All that, you know, I'm sorry, you know, and all that, acting very feminine. I'm sorry. Again, performative, shape-shifting.
Her understanding of what it means for you to have immunity pursuant to the state subpoena.
So I have derivative and use immunity. And so in the future, a prosecutor couldn't use what I say here today against me.
Correct. But you could be prosecuted. Just nothing you said here today could be used against you in that prosecution. Do you agree with that?
I suppose so.
Okay.
She has one of the top lawyers in the United States. You don't think she went over this? And she's a law professor herself, but she has such a hard time answering this question. You don't think she talked to her high-power lawyer about this?
Have you made any sort of special deal with the state attorney's office or with any law enforcement or government agent?
No.
All right. Was there a time that you lived in Tallahassee?
Yes, I used to live in Tallahassee.
What was the time frame that you lived here?
I was here for about 8 years. I lived here my last year of law school, so the academic year 05-06. We were in Miami for 06-07, and then I would have been back 2007 to 2014.
All right, and what brought you back to Tallahassee after you returned to Miami after law school?
Well, I went to Tallahassee to finish law school, and then we went to Miami because Danny had a job opportunity at University of Miami. It didn't come to fruition. He was not hired, and so we came back to Florida State.
And so your husband had a job opportunity here at Florida State?
Yes,
Okay, and that's what brought you to Tallahassee?
that's what brought us here.
And you also had a job opportunity at Florida State, is that right?
That's right.
What was that job?
I worked at the FSU Center for Human Rights, and at first I was a staff attorney. I used to represent victims of violent crime, asylum seekers, and victims of human trafficking. And then I taught various classes at FSU Law School. And then I ran something called a medical legal partnership.
And how long did you do that?
I was working at FSU for 7 years.
All right, so basically the whole time you were here in Tallahassee.
When I wasn't a student, I was working for FSU.
All right. When did you meet Dan Markell?
And right there, that's the dominance right there. She could have just said yes, but she had to go ahead and clarify, when I wasn't a student. Yeah, no, you know, she basically said, I'm going to answer it the way I want to answer it, instead of just being nice, whatever. You'll see her do that.
Danny and I met first online, and we met when I was starting my 2L year of law school. So that would have been 04, fall of 2004.
When were the two of you married?
We were married in February 2006.
Do you have any children in common?
We have 2 children,
All right, both boys?
both boys.
During the time that you moved to Tallahassee the second time to work here at Florida State, were you living with Dr. Markell the entire time as a married couple?
I'm sorry, Dr. Markell?
I'm sorry, Mr. Markell, Dan Markell, your husband.
Were we living as a married couple when we returned to Tallahassee?
So confused. Dr. Markell? She knows she messed, and again, performative. So confused. Yeah, and this whole this whole thing, she's doing here, Miss Nice. Anyway, the snake.
Yes.
Yes, so by that point, we returned in August maybe of '06, so we got married in February of '06, so we've been married 6 months by then.
And the entire time that you were living as a married couple, was that at the Trescott address that we've seen photos of earlier?
No, we,
Where your family conspired to kill your ex-husband? That address? Yeah, that pretty much.
first in a rented house, I actually don't remember what neighborhood it was now, it's been a while. But we lived there.
Way overly explaining this. She could have just said rented hat, whatever. They probably lived there 6 months and then moved into the Trescott house, in which your ex-husband was killed by your family in the garage, shot in the head twice as he arrived home. Thank you.
Bought our house, so maybe 6 months
Snake.
in the other location. Don't remember exactly.
All right, do you remember?
Look how nice she looks, though. Very pretty lady. Very well put together. Brilliant.
We moved into the
Snake.
Trescott address. Maybe, I don't remember exactly what year. Probably, would have been 2008 or 2009. It was before my older son was born.
And you were living there in he was
She
living
knows.
there in 2014.
She knows the
when
answer.
this murder occurred, correct?
He was living there in 2014.
And you were no longer living there.
I stopped living there in 2012.
When you took half the stuff,
In
when you went to
2012,
New York.
Was there a separation first before a divorce?
Yeah, you moved out when you went to New York, took half your stuff, you planned all that out, you moved all the money out of your bank accounts. She knows the day she moved out. And your husband came home at 11 o'clock to find divorce papers on his bed. Snake.
Or
Yes, there was a separation.
when was the separation effective?
September 2012.
The day of the New York
Whose
University.
decision was it to separate?
It was my decision.
Oh, yeah, big time.
And was part of the reason for the separation differing views on how your children should be raised within the Jewish faith?
I mean, that's certainly part of it, but not really a central decision. It was more just our relationship overall.
Yeah, you married someone you didn't like. I got
It
it.
certainly wasn't, we were on different pages when it came to religion, but I wouldn't say that
Okay,
was.
and that's what I'm specifically inquiring about, was that part of it? So I think your answer is yes, that was part of it.
Part of it.
Okay, but you are both Jewish, correct?
Yes,
All right, and both of you did agree to raise the children within the Jewish faith? Is
we
that
did.
correct?
And,
Okay.
Yeah, and
So
she
what were the
changed. And
differences
she changed it.
between the two of you on that front?
Probably in the observance of keeping kosher. So I don't.
And going to services at the temple. I don't, not Jewish, but basically practicing the Jewish faith, because she didn't eating kosher. This is lies.
And Danny did, and that became difficult to do in Tallahassee and difficult to do.
It's not difficult to do if you're disciplined. Look, woman, you have a master's degree and a law degree. You know how to do difficult stuff. All you had to do was eat kosher, and it ain't that hard if you want to do it. Especially if you really dig on your man, you'd find a way to do it. It just wasn't that important to you because you didn't like your man.
With differing beliefs around that.
Can you explain for the jurors what keeping kosher means?
Sure. It's a separation of milk from meat. So you couldn't have a cheeseburger, for example, right? You couldn't have milk with a meat product. And the meat has to be killed in a ritual-specific way that's been blessed by a rabbi.
I think back in the day, the kosher stuff, I'm not trying to be controversial, but it was made so, because, people would get ill from eating bad food. And it was basically food practices that would keep you safe. But, if there's more to it, I just don't know. I know that's part of it.
You can eat shellfish of any kind, so no seafood. There's a lot more rules, but those are just some high-level ones.
All right, and was it very important to your husband that the children be?
Oh, don't put cheese on a hamburger. I think I could do that.
It was, yes.
All right, and that was something that was not important to you.
So
It's not
difficult.
a question of it not being important to me. It just started to supersede other things that are important, like love and trust.
Love and trust, like, it can't, you didn't care, so you didn't do it. Love and trust. And here it is. Here's what she defines as what was important. She claims love and trust. To Danny Markel, sorry. It was very important to him. He wanted both love and trust, and he wanted his wife to just comply and be kosher because she knew it before they got married, I guarantee.
Well, to you,
At times it was complicated. I mean, there was one particular time I had taken the boys to a picnic for one of my clients for one of her children, and my older son had pizza, and Danny was very, very upset about this. He was maybe 1 at the time, but it was...
Well, I can understand Danny might have been overboard. I get it, but it's very important to him. And I guarantee, like I said, if a woman likes you, she will make sure that doesn't happen. And that's his boy. As the mother, she should be remorseful if that happened. You know, she don't care, and she probably gave him the pizza on purpose.
It was pizza that wasn't kosher, and so that became challenging.
all right, so this was something that sort of came up as an issue during the course of the marriage.
It did.
Yeah, because she kept not caring about it.
I mean, to suggest that it was based solely on the children's diets, but that was something that is going to come up later, and I wanted to make sure the jurors understood what was meant by kosher diet. All right, did you move out of the marital home when you separated?
I did.
Yep.
Where did you go to live?
While he's in New York.
I rented a house, and I went to that house.
All right, was that at the Aqua Ridge residence?
Yes, it was.
Does 3303 Aqua Ridge sound right?
And you didn't tell your husband where you were for 2 weeks. You didn't know where his kids were.
Right,
It is.
okay, as well as the Trescott residence.
They're both in Anne County.
About how far apart are those two residences?
I think it used to take about 15, 20 minutes to drive, depending on traffic.
How long after you moved out of the home did you file for divorce?
Right away.
I actually don't remember the answer to that. I'm
You do,
assuming I
too.
filed for divorce right away.
Within a month, sounds about right.
That sounds about right.
Okay, I'm gonna show you the exhibit.
She left the papers on the bed. She even testifies to this. She left the papers on the bed. What do you mean? She knows the answer. Once again, performative.
9 and ask you to take a look at the exhibit.
Liar.
I do not expect you to look at everything you look at.
With the smile.
You
Hi.
had an opportunity to look at this exhibit previously a little bit, right?
I don't have any memory of that.
Okay. Is this the first time you've ever seen this exhibit?
It's the first time I remember. It's
All right,
very
just
big.
Take a look and kind of just thumb through
Yeah.
it. Again.
Always hard to remember when you're trying to lie. She knows what that is.
My question, Ms. Adelson, you can look through it as much as needed to answer
Well, that
this
was
question.
She had a question. What was your
It's
question?
just, it looks like it's about 800 pages long, so you want me to?
Oh, come on. Yeah, another lawyer who's been very educated wants you to read that whole binder, lady. Come, look at that. That's a passive aggressive smart ass.
As much as is needed to answer the following question, does
She's trying to make her look dumb, and this attorney, it's not lost on her.
appear to be a fair and
And she did it with a smile, by the
copy
way.
of your divorce file.
I mean, from the front page, sure.
Okay. Thumb through it a little bit and just see if
Come on.
there's a reason to dispute that that's your complete divorce file from.
I mean, is a Cracker Jack box, lady? You know, God, it appears to be. Look at a couple pages. Yes, 800 pages. That's yours.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, so I want you to take a look, if you would, at the petition that is on State's Exhibit 59, pages 1 through 5.
The one right on top?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All the pages should be numbered through, so.
What? Yeah. See, there you go. There's some smart asses right back at you. All pages should be numbered.
For divorce, correct?
She said, "Well,
Yes.
And so this was, would you agree that this was a contentious divorce?
I think it was made much more difficult by Danny, who didn't want to get.
really, by Danny, only Danny. I mean, but your husband was killed because of this divorce, and you can't answer that question. And by the way, you would think that, I mean, a normal person, if I got divorced, I'd be like, 800 pages. And that, Oh. Liar, snake, man. She know. Look at her. She knows the answer. It's yes.
But sure, we can call it contentious.
Not what we would classify as an amicable divorce. You hear about those.
No, it would be not an amicable divorce.
All right.
Blamed it
And
on her
part of
husband.
What you were seeking in your divorce and these documents in front of you was permission from the court to move with your children to South Florida.
Where you live now.
Correct?
And where
That's
you.
part of the overall divorce proceedings.
All right. And
Well,
specifically on pages.
your husband died soon after.
43 through 50.
He won that part.
There's a petition to include a request to be allowed to relocate with minor children. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. And why were you seeking to move to South Florida?
I was seeking a place that would be stable and permanent for the kids and me. Danny never planned on staying in Tallahassee. It was just a question of time before he moved to New York to be with his girlfriend or had dreams of...
Lies once again. A girlfriend he's only dated for 8 months. That's why he's going to New York? No. He had a nice house on Trescott. He had a good job at Florida State. Maybe he was going to move, but it appeared that Danny was pretty happy where he was. And she mentioned it. No, and the girlfriend thing he had in New York, that wasn't solid yet. They were having issues. So, no, he's not. Look at that. Liar. Making up facts.
So Tallahassee was just a temporary stopping point. I wanted a place that was permanent for us, where we had family support.
And why did South Florida seem like a place of permanence to you?
Right, I mean, because we had family support, because I work in immigration, there were a lot of career opportunities for me there.
Are you from South Florida?
I am.
Okay, and when you say family support, what family resided there?
My mother, father, and brother.
Yeah, who were later charged with
Was the
conspiracy to murder
relocation to South Florida the
and
most
serving life in
important part of
prison.
your divorce?
No.
Was it your most non-negotiable term?
No.
Yes,
But it was very important to you?
extremely.
I wouldn't say it was very important to me.
Was it very important to your mother?
Hold up.
She was much more looking forward to having her.
Look how and again, how you're framing it. She was much more looking forward. They said prior to this, they were going to pay $1 million to Danny Markel so that she could move. That was one of the tactics they were going to use. The other one was diabolical, to where they were going to have her change her religion to either Muslim or Christian to piss Danny off, and they said, do everything you can, basically scorched earth. We're gonna work this guy. Gibbers, they called him. These slurs. And she even said, and I hate to say this, but they were going to dress their kids up, absolutely diabolical, in Nazi uniforms to piss off Danny. And this lady right here, look how she's answering this, with smiles. These people are evil, diabolical, and just because someone's smiling at you, just because they look good, and just because they can answer it well, nah, you're lying.
Her grandchildren home, yeah.
And she framed that good. She was happy to bring her grandchildren home. No, absolutely not. It was way more than that. You don't tell your daughter to change her religion, take pictures in front of a Catholic church, and dress your kids up in Nazi uniforms to hopefully have our kids home in South Florida. Liar.
You would take a look for me at page 46, paragraph E.
And she didn't technically lie.
Just read that.
She just minimized the cause.
And in this paragraph, Ms. Adelson, are you alleging that Mr. Markel has created a hostile work environment for you at the Florida State University College of Law?
He did during the period of time.
Right, and was disparaging you to your colleagues?
Hostile work environment. Liar.
And if you'll take a look at pages beginning on 79, the document beginning on 79.
She would tell, man.
Is this Mr. Markel's 23-page response
23 page.
to your motion to relocate?
You're asking me, is this
His response to your motion to relocate?
Yes, it looks like it.
All right, that's quite...
Apparently,
Would you agree
Danny's
with that?
lawyer ended up saying he did write too much.
Or alienated all of all of his attorneys and started doing his own legal work. So
That's kind of
He
true.
was adamantly opposed to you taking his kids to South Florida.
yes, he shared all of that here, which is different than the conversations we had, but
That's what he filed.
this what he filed is what the judge.
He did not want it, lady.
Yes.
And in that filing, I'm specifically referencing to page 82, where Markel states that the sole stated reason the wife seeks to relocate with the party's minor children is so she can be closer to her parents. My
Mm-hmm.
understanding is you don't agree that's why you wanted to move.
That's
It
absolutely
wasn't
true.
the sole reason why I wanted to move.
Not.
But you do agree it was a reason.
I mean, I like that answer. That's a lawyer answer. It's not the sole reason. Well, it could also be because they the sun's nice there or whatever. They have good beaches. Lady, it's because of your parents. Not the. She's not. That answer's a good answer, but you know the answer is yes.
Absolutely a reason. I wanted to create some stability for my kids. And
Stability.
having family around helps. have
Danny
a
was
environment.
stability.
Is it fair to say that your mother, Donna Adelson, was following these divorce proceedings pretty closely?
She was definitely being a little bit over involved. Yeah.
She was pretty
Oh,
invested in
honesty
her
there.
personal life. Is that fair to say?
Overbearing.
One of those moms, yes.
All right, and we've talked about your mom.
A
Donna
witch.
Adelson. Who's your father?
What is my father's name?
Mm-hmm.
Harvey Adelson.
And where do Donna and Harvey live currently?
They live in Miami.
All right. And are you still very close with your parents?
I am.
All right.
Oh.
Do you still live in close proximity to your parents?
I live about a 15-minute drive away.
Well, you won't.
And where did
You
they-
won't after your mom gets convicted later on. That's already happened.
They lived in Coral Springs, Florida.
Your mom now lives in a state Florida jail.
And were you close with your mom back around the time that you were living in Tallahassee?
I was.
And did she have a close relationship with your children as well?
She did.
Are your parents employed?
Right now, they are both retired.
What about back in 20?
Yeah, her mom is employed at the
They were both employed.
Florida State Penitentiary.
Then my father had a dental practice, and my mom was managing his practice.
What's the name of the dental practice?
Dr.
Adels-
Harvey Adelson.
Adelson Institute, I even know.
Right, does Adelson Institute ring a bell?
Come on, bruh.
And do you know whether the practice there was successful, meaning lucrative?
It is.
At one point, it was, and
After your family conspired to kill your ex-husband, it wasn't.
Lucrative at that time?
between 2013 and 2016, it was definitely the business was doing better than it did.
So what happened in 2014? Why?
Social media.
Come on.
happened.
Exactly.
Referring to this case?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because you're a
Previous
dumbass.
to the murder, the Adelson Institute was earning approximately $2 million in profit each year.
That's quite nice.
I haven't the slightest idea, but
Do you know whether your parents had other investments other than,
You know where they lived. They were doing all right.
you don't know if they own any properties?
I know now that they own properties, but I didn't then.
Okay, and do you know now that they owned properties then?
I actually don't know when they acquired the properties, so I don't know.
All right, was your divorce impacting your family financially? So this is prior to the murder and the
It was certainly impacting me financially, but I don't think it was impacting the rest of my family.
All right, how many lawyers did you have in your divorce?
I'm sure they were helping
I
her.
had one, and then Danny accused her of ethical violations and.
Which were
stealing
true.
money, and so I had to.
You were about to be sanctioned.
I think he had 3 or 4.
You were about to be
So I
sanctioned.
was talking about you. So you had 2.
I had one, and then I had to get another, yes.
Oh, you see that? Do you see that? How she did that? She asked about her. She didn't ask about Danny, and she threw Danny in there. Danny had more than her. She was throwing Danny under the butt. See that? See that?
Who paid for those 2 attorneys?
I did.
Did your mom retire from the dental practice during the time of your divorce to facilitate her spending more time with the children?
No, she didn't retire from the dental practice. She did help me during the divorce and help me with the kids. They were very small, but she didn't retire. She just worked for my dad, so it was okay if she took a leave of absence here and there.
All right.
A leave of
Did you
absence.
discuss your marital problems and the resulting legal issues
Yes.
with your mother?
I'm sure I did.
That answer right there. You did. You have about 100 emails saying you did. I'm sure I did. Lie. You see,
Fair to say your mother is a controlling person?
yes.
My mom is and was very invested in my life. I don't think of her as a
She-
controlling person.
Oh,
Fair to
please.
say around the time of your divorce.
Invested? No. And she's using different words. Once again, this is what women will do when they argue. No, you would probably argue with your woman, oh, you're controlling. And so, whatever. She's changing it to investing. She's trying to frame or define the argument.
Not like Dan Markel.
I think that's fair to say. I think she was very disappointed by the way he treated me.
In fact, she despised him, didn't she?
I can't speak to
Because they weren't getting what they wanted.
Whether she despised him.
And you
she
were
was very disappointed.
She sent you some emails to indicate her feelings about Dan Markel around that time, didn't she?
She did.
I'm going to show you what I've marked as State's Exhibit 63. Back to this one.
I love this prosecutor. She's good.
Ms. Kappelman, do you want me to read it?
No, ma'am. Just take a
You're
look
not-
at those and tell me.
This lawyer don't know anything. You're not allowed. I even know. You're not allowed to read that stuff. It's to refresh your memory. She's so confused.
That were sent to you from your mother.
I can authenticate them.
All right, so the donnaharvey@gmail.com is your parents' shared email address, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, but these emails were coming from your mother based on the context, is that right? Not your dad?
I imagine they probably represented both of their feelings. They've been
Come
married for 10
on.
years,
Once
so
again,
sometimes
once
my
again,
mom speaks for my
changing the argument. All she said was it from your mom? She said, same feelings from both of them. So the answer is yes, it's from my mom. But she changes it, again, this is what women will do. She changes it to your dad didn't care, by the way. You know, he was just trying to get laid still in his 80s by your mom.
All right, so there's one, I believe it's on top there, dated May 3rd, 2013. Was that about 3 months before your divorce was finalized?
My memory is that our divorce was finalized in June 2013. So wouldn't that just be 1 month before?
I had July 31st, so
Okay.
whatever is your memories.
She knows the date.
So, okay, this was May and our divorce was finalized in July then.
Yes?
Just want to talk a little bit about the emails that are in front of you there. So on that first email dated May 3rd, 2013, page 1 of 5, and the second real paragraph, does your mother indicate that the most important
Objection.
part of your divorce is
Objection.
relocation?
Hold on a second, Ms. Kappelman.
I don't believe this item is in evidence, Your Honor.
The items have not been admitted into evidence at this point, Ms. Kappelman.
Correct.
All right, so I don't want you reading from them if they haven't been admitted into evidence.
All right, Ms. Adelson, did your mother indicate to you that to her the most important part of your divorce is
Objection.
relocation?
Objection. That's sustained.
Okay, Judge, at this time, I would ask to approach. Should to take a look at the emails for that.
I'm happy to.
Okay, if you'll take a look at page 1, about halfway down. Just read those few sentences there, and then I will draw your attention to page 2 when you're ready. Actually, you know what, for refreshing purposes, I'm going to approach with my copy. I'm just going to kind of draw your attention to the thing, items highlighted in green. If you'll just look at those to yourself and then flip through and look for those items highlighted in green. Okay. Did your mom ever refer to your husband as an asshole?
Yes.
A bully?
Yes.
A zealot?
A religious zealot. Yes.
A jackass?
Yes.
A religious extremist?
Yes.
What about gibbers? What did she call them?
Ooh.
Gibbers?
Yeah,
Ooh.
Gibbers is not a bad name.
Yes, it
It
is.
was,
Liar.
silly name that I came up with
See,
during a period of time when I felt incredibly terrorized.
see, there we go. There's some gaslighting going on there. This is good. It is a Jewish slur, by the way. Yeah, so it's bad. It's not silly name, and if it is a silly name, you're using it towards your husband or ex-husband, father of your children. It's inappropriate. It's disrespectful. So it's very bad. And the fact that you're trying to change that definition of this derogatory term you're using to dehumanize your husband with your mother to talk crap, I'd say it's very bad. Look how she tries to lighten it up, minimize it. And, she was terrorized. Come on, man. Liar. And she's trying to define the argument. I was terrorized, making up facts. This is why you do not argue with women.
A word that I would use to kind of make him seem less scary.
Less scary.
Say that
Hold
it
on.
was a derogatory.
He was not abusive, never has been abusive, was a really nice guy, not violent at all, it was reported by his friends. Less scary. Right. That's a women's tactic, right here. Abuse.
No?
Okay, but you came up with it directly in relation to him terrorizing you.
I did. It was a way to take this theme out of a situation I found scary. I
No.
wouldn't say it was
It was a way to talk crap and
When
dehumanize.
you say scary, are you alleging physical abuse?
I'm not alleging physical.
Yeah, see?
All right.
What's scary? I mean, Danny was not.
What types of things did your mother suggest that you could coerce or acquire the
And she
ability
feels
to
no
do
guilt,
it?
no shame. No shame.
She suggested that I could change the religion
Okay.
of my children.
And why would that affect the relocation effort?
Because religion was so important to Danny that would be a real hot button thing.
Okay.
To
And did she-
to enrage him, to get him to bend,
She did.
to break his will.
Suggest that she and the family would be willing to put up for such a bribe.
So I just saw the bribe reference, but I didn't see the amount. If you want to show me.
$1 million. I know it already. She just is so clueless, isn't she? She knows the facts. Performative behavior.
Okay.
How much money was your family willing to put up to bribe Dan Martel to let you and his family use this?
They said that they would go as high as $1 million, which would be $333,000 each.
And who are the each?
My mom, my dad, and Charlie.
Did Charlie, you mentioned he also lived in South Florida. Was he employed at the family dental practice?
He works there sometimes.
And what type of work did he do?
He is a periodontist, so he would sometimes do implants or surgery for people.
Did your motion for relocation get granted or denied by the court?
It was denied by the court.
You
Denied.
were not legally permitted to move to Miami?
No.
But you live there now?
Did you have an alternative? You mentioned previously that there's
No.
a hostile work environment at Florida State University as a result of your husband. Or your ex-husband at this point, was the failure to be able to relocate, did that cause you to remain in that environment?
It did.
Oh, lie. A week.
I don't remember the date that the petition to relocate was denied. If you could show me the binder, I can.
Oh, she needs the date. Yeah, you know what? It was about, you went back to South Florida. By having the murder occur, you were able to move back to Florida very quickly. That's what she's going after here.
And I'll draw you to pages 262 and 263.
In the binder?
In the binder? That's feminine. In the binder? I'm sure she didn't talk to Danny like
The
that.
order was on June. No. What day it is?
June, so it's sometime in June, and she's moving to South Florida end of July.
June 20th, 2013.
Mm-hmm. So it would have been forever, you know, but yet your husband was murdered by some hitmen. And now how long is
I
it?
was still working at the law school
Oh, she
through
kissed.
July 2014, so I stayed for 1 more year.
Okay, and it was subsequent to his death that you were able to find new employment that was in a less hostile work environment. Is that accurate?
I mean, eventually after his death, I found new employment. It took me a little while.
Okay. How long did you stay in Tallahassee after your husband was killed?
I
Ex-husband, sorry.
stayed a couple of days.
A couple of days.
And then after I had asked the police for protection at the
Oh, please.
or in my home, and they refused.
Oh, okay. Hang on a second. Number one is, you know who did it. Your family did it, so you're good. And she asked for. You don't get private police protection anywhere. These are lies. She knows these are lies. She's not answering honestly. This is why you don't argue with women. She didn't get police protection. Sounds horrible. They weren't worried about her. And secondly is, police don't do that. It's not their job. You could have had, whatever. And secondly, she knew who did the murder. Unless she didn't, her family did it. You're good, girl. That's what I mean.
Just go for a couple of days.
And then all of a sudden you just stayed.
Days away from Tallahassee. And then this case hit CNN
Oh,
and hit the media.
and so you stay?
I don't mean to interrupt you, but the question was, how long did you stay in Tallahassee?
Oh, I love that. I love that. So she's narrating all this BS, and that's what you can do. This is why the formal system's good, right? Or even if you're arguing with a woman, you need to learn just bring her back to what question was, how many days? How quick? Not all this CNN, and that's all lies, because what she's trying to say is we never went back after a couple of days, after his murder. Isn't that convenient? A few days.
All right,
Unbelievable.
so how did your mom take the news that you were not going to be able to relocate?
She was very upset.
Extreme. This is how arrogant they were. That's why they're charged with life in prison. That's why they're in life in prison. I'm not saying, they should have hid it, but if they would have
a motion to
moved more
enforce the
appropriately.
settlement agreement and hold Dan Markell in contempt of court filed by you?
Yes.
And a few months later, did he respond with a counter motion to enforce the marital settlement agreement's final provisions, alleging some violations that he said you made on the marital settlement agreement?
Yes.
And these filings are pretty venomous. Is that a fair characterization?
Not on my part.
Well, on both your parts, right?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
she can't. So it's only on his part. Okay.
Various
It takes two to tango.
lying about your financial affidavit and things like that. Don't you agree?
Yeah, she was about to get
Those
sanctioned.
accusations, they were completely baseless.
They were not. See, according to you.
And
They were not, by the way. They were not. She was about to get in big trouble.
did in the pleadings, is the tennis racket mentioned as something?
Tennis racket.
And I can draw your attention to that page one if you read it.
I imagine it could have been. You
It
can
wa-
get my attention if you like. and I
Yeah,
can-
that's how petty you were.
To argue about the fact that a tennis racket is mentioned specifically in your divorce document.
That's how.
That sounds like some of the nonsense that we argued over.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're sorry.
And
Yeah.
was
Unbelievable.
there a motion, I want to draw your attention specifically to this motion. It's on page 441 of that document in front of you. Exhibit 59. This motion was filed by Dan Markell on March 26th of 2014, so shortly before his death.
I see it.
Okay, what was that motion?
Former husband's counter motion for enforcement of MSA on parenting issues and motion for contempt and sanctions.
And in that motion, did he allege that you were violating the marital settlement agreement in a variety of ways,
Yes, it looks like he did.
including failing to facilitate communication between he and the boys, failing to keep him informed of where his kids are, failure to communicate about parenting decisions like the kids' schooling, diet.
Those are all true, by the way. There were friends that were interviewed by the police, and so on her days, she was supposed to let him Skype with her kids. Danny was supposed to be able to call her, and they would Skype. She wouldn't do it, so that's what she's getting hammered for here. She changed the kid's school. When he was murdered, he was on the phone with the school she changed the kids to without telling him. These are all true accusations. This is the crap she was pulling. And so yeah, she's, that's who you're dealing with right here. This Miss Smiley Face Snake.
And extracurricular activities, things like that.
Yes, that looks right.
Those are all accurate.
And was he, as part of this motion, seeking to enjoin you from allowing your mother to have time with the children that was unsupervised by another adult?
I am not seeing that right now, but I can continue
It's there.
reading through it.
Okay, so good job.
Waste of time.
Still going.
Is this a question that you need refreshing?
I love that.
And make these allegations?
I love that. She's basically saying, you know the answer. Stop acting stupid. This is the question you need refreshing. So she's got the book in front of her. She's going to be a little biatch about it.
Reflection of that?
I don't have an independent recollection.
You do
I
too.
made a lot of allegations that weren't true, so I need to look through to figure out what.
Well, you weren't Skyping with them. That was huge. You changed school without telling them. I even know.
Alright, so in that filing, Dan Markel alleges that your mother is disparaging him to the children, correct?
That is correct.
And he was seeking a court order saying she couldn't have contact with the kids unless there was another adult present, correct?
I see that here. I don't think I took it seriously at the time, so it didn't really lodge in my memory.
Did your mom take it seriously?
No.
Was it ever ruled on?
I don't know.
Law of Power, I believe 19. Know who you are dealing with. Do not offend the wrong
It was
person.
scheduled to
And
be
Danny
ruled on
did.
in August of 2014, right?
I don't know. I don't know when it was scheduled for. I do know that nobody took it very seriously.
Okay.
Y'all
My
did
mom was
too.
worried
Y'all
about
did too,
that.
liar. Lying. And she smiles. I mean, she looks good. She's sexy.
Let's talk a little bit
She's
about
put together
your-
well.
Just
Snake.
close that
Lion
up.
snake.
In front of you, if that's okay. How old is your brother, Charlie Adelson?
He is 45.
Is he your older or younger brother?
I have two older brothers, so he is one of the two older brothers.
Are you closer?
You only have two brothers. I have two older brothers? Yeah. Answer the question.
One more than the other?
Yes,
Which one are you closer to?
Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
Has that always been the case, or just since this case?
No, it's not since this case. I think when we were kids, I was probably closest to my oldest brother, and then after getting to be an adult myself around my 20s, I was probably closer to my middle brother.
Around the time of 2013 and 2014, were you closer to Charlie at that time?
I would say so.
All right, and are you aware of any connection at any time between your brother Charlie and any gang members?
No.
Did your brother use drugs?
He did? Yeah.
What type of drugs did he use?
Cocaine,
Marijuana.
Okay, what else?
I don't know of anything else.
steroids.
Okay. And
You know.
do you know where he got the drugs from that he used?
I don't.
Was he a recreational marijuana user or was he a drug dealer?
I would say he was a recreational marijuana user.
Was this something he did every day or just occasionally?
I don't know how often. I don't know if it was every day, but I do know that the pain of the last few years has led him to do some self-medication.
Oh, God.
Okay, but I'm really speaking of the
Before.
time frame I should have clarified, 2013 to 2014.
I don't know if he was using any drugs during that time.
Bull. Lying again.
But you became aware of it subsequent to the incidents that we're here about today?
That's right.
Were you aware that your brother, I think you testified he sometimes worked at the Adelson Institute. What did you mean by that? Where else does he work?
So he is a periodontist, and he has kind of a traveling practice of sorts. So he would work in various doctors' offices throughout Broward, Dade, and Palm Beach counties. And so sometimes he would work from my dad's practice, but sometimes he would work from different offices. I don't know how often he worked at which one, I just know he worked at various offices.
The answer is yes.
All right, so I asked you, I'm sorry to change topics on you so much, but previously we were talking about your two brothers. Is your other brother, not Charlie, but your other brother, is he located here in Florida?
He is not.
All right, back in
No,
2014,
New
was he
York.
living in another state?
Even I know.
Gainesville for a while. I'm trying to remember in 20.
He lives in New York.
Gainesville. I don't think so. I think he was in another state.
So been in another state throughout this.
Yeah, you don't like your parents.
I believe so, yes.
All right, now back to what we were talking about with your brother Charlie's practice. So he travels around to different dentist offices and performs a specific
All right, that's
service.
good. We'll go. We'll finish up part 2 later.
All right, and